I have a few entrepreneurs whom I advise about money, and I recently did two sessions for entrepreneurs and how they should be investing. When I realized that there seems to be a huge gap between the advice that entrepreneurs get and the advice that they deserve. So therefore, this is one first attempt rather to talk a little more about entrepreneurs and finance. So first of all, understand that when you are a small entrepreneur and you have a tax advisor, he will tell you at the end of every year at least, or during the year, your chartered accountant will tell you, if you put away money 1.5 lakhs in ELSS or PPF, you will save tax. If you put 50,000 rupees more, you will save some more tax by putting it away in NPS or things like that, and they are right. But you also need to understand that as an entrepreneur, you are taking a lot of risk in your own business. So for you, keeping cash in hand is also as important as saving tax. Yes, saving tax looks good, but that saving tax is part of the story. When your chartered accountant tells you that you save tax, he tells you, oh, you put away money and you will save tax and you will save money for your retirement. Partially true, because for saving money for retirement, entrepreneurs need a well written down plan. So remember, if you don't have a plan, you're not planning for a retirement, you're planning to fail in retirement, because entrepreneurs' retirement can happen anytime. I mean, COVID has killed many entrepreneurs, right? So first of all, make sure that when you're investing, explain to your financial advisor and your chartered accountant that your main job is risk. Right? So you should not have too much of equity in your portfolio until you get to a big, huge size, right? Cash is very useful. You found it in the books of Google, Reliance, Facebook, etc. Exactly like that, a small entrepreneur can also get completely screwed in his business if he does not have 10 lakhs liquidity for some businesses and 10 crores liquidity for bigger businesses. So depending on the level of your business, you should have enough money to tide over bad times and difficult times. Right? Having said that, understand the risks in your business. There's a huge risk of medical requirement. If you have 10 employees, get them medical insurance, because if you don't get them medical insurance, someday when they fall ill, they are going to come to you. They have nobody else to turn to, right? If you're a small entrepreneur and employing people who are not very well paid, very good chance that even if there is a problem in their family, they will come to you and say, can you please help me, because they don't have cash flow, they don't have any great planning. If you are a businessman, you need to plan for all those 10 people or 100 people who are working with you. Fairly obvious, the bigger the team size, the more you can explain medical insurance, group term insurance, whatever it is. Make sure that you do all that, because if your employee who is 41 years of age dies, and he dies with 70 lakhs of assets and 80 lakhs of liabilities, you will have to step in at some stage. If you had term insurance for him, at least you're sure that some insurance company is going to pay him 1 year CTC or 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs, something is going to come. Here the family is going to look at you and expect you to support them. That's going to be very difficult. So ATC, yes, ATC is useful, but understand the total overall risk and your own portfolio, right? Don't just go and put money in some PPF or something, get it stuck, right? So if you should put money in ELSS, it's a good idea, because at least after 3 years it is liquid. But please understand, since you're taking so much risk in your own business, it is nice to have PPF account also, and maybe you put 50,000 rupees in a year, saying that much liquidity I can afford to lose, and put 1 lakh in ELSS, saying, okay, in the worst case scenario, after 3-4 years, if I need liquidity, that is available, right? So as an entrepreneur, my answer would be very different for a person than for a person who is in service, about even simple things like ATC, in case I were to give you that advice, right? Please also understand that your business is just a tool to create wealth. You have two boxes. One is your business box, one is your personal wealth box. This business box is just supposed to increase the wealth here. So you have to find all perfect, legitimate, tax-free methods of shifting money from your business to your personal life. There are instruments available like that in insurance, right? You can take a Keyman insurance, you can take some of those things where your wife could be the beneficiary. Check out on how this whole thing works. Please don't treat your business as something which is sacrosanct. It is there, it is to make money for you so that your personal wealth increases. It's not, so you may create a great business, sell it off and take the money. You may take money on a regular basis, you may take a salary. First of all, you must check a salary, because then you will know whether the business has failed or whether you have failed. As in, suppose you're entitled to, suppose you think you'll be employed somewhere and you get 10 lakh rupee salary, you've got to provide for that salary, because tomorrow when you're trying to sell off the business or get a new partner, that partner is not going to say, oh, 10 years you didn't take salary, so here you take extra 2 crores. That's not going to happen. So somewhere in your head you have to be providing for it and prepare a P&L assuming a 10 lakh rupee salary. Based on that, you will get outside investors, etc. So ignoring that doesn't make sense. So you have to provide for your salary. You have to find methods of shifting wealth from the business bucket to the personal bucket. This is very important. Many entrepreneurs keep on slogging without even understanding the very purpose of doing business is to ensure that you have got personal wealth, you got personal net worth, right? That's the main purpose. Understand your cash flow. Many entrepreneurs fail because they don't understand the difference between profit and cash flow. Cash flow is like oxygen, you need it desperately. So when you don't have oxygen, the company dies. Many companies do not die because they don't have enough clients. They die because they don't have enough cash to service it. Right? There could be other crises. You may not be able to find enough employees. You may not be able to find enough trainers to train them while being on the job during lockdown. All those problems would be there. But mastering your cash flow, to understand that cash in hand is necessary for survival, to make sure that you collect, make sure how you know how to give cash discounts and other price discounts. It is necessary that you master the cash flow that we are talking about, not just the profitability. Profitability is at a much later stage. When you understand cash flow and you understand the importance of cash flow, look at what COVID has done. Entrepreneurs who are earning 40,000-50,000 rupees a month, like carpenters and all, have been laid low. There is no work. Who do you think is running their family, right? It's very difficult, very embarrassing to think that a person earning 50,000 in a city like Mumbai is not considered to be rich, is just considered to be middle class. That is what a carpenter was earning. I met one carpenter who says there is absolutely no work, right? So these kind of things happen, these kind of circumstances happen, right? So master your cash flow, because depending on the size of your business, you could have cash flow crisis, cash flow problems. Understand all your legal liabilities towards your employees, towards the women employees, towards the men employees, how much leave has to be given. Keep providing for all that, because when they are in trouble, they are going to come to you. They have no other place to go to, right? So understand the risk of helping, understand the risk of not helping, understand all that while you're doing your business. Understand that your main business being equity, you have to have a portfolio which has a lot of debt and some debt which is liquid. Of course, you could have money in PPF also, because that is what will give you profitability. But you need an ultra short bond fund, you need a liquid fund, you need cash on hand, you need all those things which you could never know. You could be called on to pay for certain expenses which were totally unexpected, right? So any of these things can happen. A lot of small businesses have suffered during COVID. Suffering would always mean not having enough cash flow. Suppose you were running a catering business. You thought, oh, this is temporary, let me pay salary for 2-3 months. So you started paying salary, you paid salary for the month of March 2020, April 2020. By it came to May, you realized that, look, nothing is happening, you're not getting enough revenues, and you just stopped it. You sacked your people, right? You did all that, but you may still have to pay compensation, right? So understand all your legal exposures, all your legal risks that you run. Protect yourself against those things. Apart from taking medical insurance and term insurance, that is to protect your family, understand that your business is also like your family. You need to protect, you need to take insurance, because if you don't take insurance now, tomorrow you're going to pay a higher amount. Imagine an employee's widow COVID widow or COVID single coming and telling you, look, I have completely wiped out, I have no money, I don't have money to pay the bills, and this is what happened. Luckily I stayed in a government hospital, so the bill was not high, or the bill was very close to zero. But other than that, I had also stayed in a private hospital, and that cost me 22 lakhs. What are you going to do? How are you going to say you will not? So when you're, don't wait for people to come to you with COVID deaths and then wondering what you should do. You should have taken a medical insurance. You could have taken a group medical insurance. Take a group term insurance, right? There are enough products available. Take a key man insurance in case you die and your business is suffering. Make sure that you are talking to your spouse. Make sure that your spouse or child or your partner, somebody is capable of taking over from you, because you will not get time to prepare for anything like this. So do all these things, and I mean, this is just advice for an entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur, I hope you listen to it and implement some of it at least. Thank you.